At Therapy Missions, we use occupational and physical therapy to improve the quality of life for individuals with disabilities throughout the world. Physical therapy is about restoring people's physical function, like their strength or their ability to move around their environment. But occupational therapy focuses on function. Our entire focus is about helping people get back to doing their everyday life activities that are important to them, such as taking care of themselves, or maybe taking care of a child, or returning to work. Our focus is on function. Therapy Missions sends teams of professional volunteer therapists to parts of the world where these resources are scarce or do not exist at all. Our work is designed not only to enable those that we treat to overcome their disabilities, but also teach their caregivers new ways to help the person with the disability, and to train those local professionals and paraprofessionals in recent advancements in therapy. Therapy Missions began when I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who's an occupational therapist. And we started to talk about, is there opportunities for professional occupational therapists to be able to go to other regions of the world where occupational therapy is not available and be able to share our knowledge to help people who are trying to help individuals with disabilities actually improve their quality of life. She had a connection in Juarez, Mexico, with a clinic that was established by parents who were trying to help their children with disabilities get some services. And while they didn't have any professional therapists available to them, because they either just didn't have these people trained in that region, or that they didn't have access to be able to get people with training to come to this area, we found that this was a wonderful beginning, really, the beginning of our program. So our life of Therapy Missions began there, in this clinic started by parents with children with disabilities. From our experience in Mexico, we learned that we had the opportunity to expand our services and started to reach out to other communities and started to reach out to other therapists. Our first trip attracted 14 therapists who came with us and spent 2 weeks at our mission. And from their own enthusiasm, we left that mission and created the organization. And within a year, we had received our nonprofit status. So it was our own therapy teams that came with us in those original days back in 2007 and 2008 who started to say, I know organizations in other countries, and would you consider this? That is what opened the door for us to be able to go to other countries, like China, where we have now had 2 visits there. We're planning our 3rd visit, where we went to an orphanage that was specifically designed for children with disabilities, and yet there were no professionals on staff in the field of occupational physical therapy. So we had an opportunity to make an impact there, where we were able to talk about the changing of the environment, ways that they can improve activities that would be so purposeful and useful for the children there to be able to grow and develop, some of them remarkably well, if they just had the chance to be able to be given the opportunities that we know we give to our parents, who then give to their children. The experiences that the therapists have who have been part of these missions has been equally profound, because what we've gotten as feedback is that those therapists have been able to do something that they never thought, first of all, they could do. That they can travel that far from home, that they can be involved in another culture, to become enculturated so quickly, to be able to develop the relationship, this relationship of trust and caregiving that needs to happen so that we really can be positive in the work that we do.
I've come to the conclusion that I'm addicted to Therapy Missions. I really enjoy it. I've never experienced anything like it in my life. It's very rewarding, and I get to do what I love at the same time. So it's very hard to say no, and it's just something that I feel very compelled to just be a part of. I have been on 5 trips. I have been to Juarez, Mexico twice. I have been to Honduras twice, and I've been to Jamaica once.
We were very well taken care of over there. They had 24-hour security with us, making sure that we got to where we needed to go safely, letting us know where we could go or where we couldn't go. I've been a therapist for a little less than a year. I recently just graduated in June, so I have my first job as an occupational therapy assistant. One of the things I enjoyed about going on the trip was really just being able to help other people, bringing them knowledge and education on ways of helping the clients as well as themselves just live a more fulfilling life.
Another country that we've been able to connect with and be affiliated with is Honduras. In Donlí, Honduras, there is a clinic, an outpatient clinic, where there are individuals who have some training in physical therapy, but have had little to no training. They have in occupational therapy, nor have they ever worked with an occupational therapist. They service children and adults with disabilities, and they're really the only clinic that people have access to from miles away. What we learned by working with them is that, again, they didn't have any advanced knowledge and they didn't have any current knowledge of how to deal with the variety of disabilities they were seeing. From individuals, adults with spinal cord injury, people with orthopedic problems, really challenging cases, people with stroke or Parkinsonism, and it just challenged them because they hadn't been really exposed to those types of disabilities in a way that they learned the best rehabilitation to be able to care for those individuals. So when we saw our interactions with them and our team who was able to go out there and to be with these people, we really saw a tremendous change in their therapy staff and their ability to feel more empowered with what they were doing with their clients. And we were seeing changes within the week. Because as we would travel to other places, we would hear people talk about their caregiver at this clinic was suddenly teaching them new skills, and we realized what they were talking about was the skills we had taught them that week.
Going over, to Jamaica, one of the things that I discovered is that all the things that we learned in the classroom I was able to utilize over there. Things that we read in textbooks or did in lab, we actually were able to have that hands-on and see how just changing a position or adjusting someone could really make just feeding and mobility much easier.
When I went to Juarez, Mexico, the second time, I definitely felt like there were a lot of changes implemented. They were very receptive to us coming back. We had this connection with the people, the workers. We were like a family, and they really welcome us as their family. Same thing in Honduras. We planted the seed, we went back, and you see things change. They're more receptive each time you go back, and they're willing to try more techniques and take the information and run with that.
We can set up or provide an appropriate plan or intervention that the family member or the caregivers can carry out. But we also teach the caregivers or the paraprofessionals how to be able to execute that plan. So we give them an opportunity to work with us side by side, sometimes just watch what we're doing, model what we're doing, and then actually imitate what we've done, so that we can see during that process that they have actually picked something up and can do it themselves. Our training is very specific in that we also provide education, and sometimes that's very formal, the type of education we provide. Some of the countries that we visited, and the ones that I mentioned, are very specifically asked to be taught something that they feel would enhance their ability to take care of their children or adults in their agencies.
We bring so much information and so much knowledge, and going into a culture, they have to absorb everything that we kind of bring with us. So what's nice is as you go back in later years, you're able to see the environment grow, how they're able to take the information that we bring as therapists and how they're able to utilize it to help the clients. It was an amazing experience. I look forward to seeing what has happened over the past year since we've been there last, and then I just can't wait to share more information and more knowledge and help as much as I can.
You don't have the pressure that you have in the United States, where you have to meet deadlines and productivity standards. You don't have that in these countries. You're there in the moment with the people, and you're helping them, and you're meeting their needs to the best of your ability. And they're so they are so overwhelmed with your presence that that's all they need from you, just to be there and to be with them in the moment.
But I think the most important thing that I've learned from our therapists who have traveled with us is that here's an opportunity for people to go as professionals, and as professionals to share the profession that they love the most and think so highly of, and be able to share it with people who so desperately want to learn what it is that they know and do.
I would say jump on board. Don't think too much about it. Just jump on in. If you're having the urge, just try it out. And if you can't travel with us, you can do other things. You can help us get equipment. You can help us fundraise. You can have a hand in it without doing the travel part. Although I feel like the traveling is the most rewarding aspect of it. You can help in any way you want to help and be a part of Therapy Missions.
The reason I got involved with Therapy Missions was because I think they have a really dynamic model where they not only treat the people in these countries who desperately need these services, but they train local caregivers and they teach the paraprofessionals there how to do different things. So long after they've left, the work carries on. The ripple effect is amazing. They're able to help and train more people, and they pass on the knowledge. That's really what this is about. It's passing on the knowledge. We're going into countries and environments where they just don't have this knowledge. And because of the model, the way they have it set up, it's like the teach a man to fish thing. The impact is just incredible. So if you're thinking about getting involved or you care about trying to make the world a better place, I can't think of any organization that gets more bang for your buck and is able to help more people for whatever you're able to bring to it and however you're able to support Therapy Missions. It's just incredible, the impact that this organization is having around the world.
It's an experience like no other. Going on any mission, you're able to bring with you and share with others knowledge that helps them live a more meaningful life. It's definitely a very emotional experience. It's amazing.
It's very hard to describe in words. You have to be there to understand what it's like. But it's probably one of the best feelings I've ever had in my life.
One person put it like this. She said, "It's as if you came here and planted a seed, but you told us we're the ones who need to water it so that it will grow. But teaching us the right way to care for the seed is what we didn't have. And now that we have that, we have an agency that's different. It's changed. We've transformed." That's what we're hoping we're able to do with the work that we do in our missions.